Hey guys, it's ExandShadow, and welcome back to Let's Play Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures. On the last part, we took care of Die Farts Consumed, and in this part, we're going to Happy Fun Candy Time! Look at how happy this level is. The sun is smiling, the flowers are smiling, the blocks are smiling, the deadly spike things are This level's kinda creepy when you think about it objectively. I mean, like, think about it, you know, somebody's angry at you. At least it makes logical sense that they'd want to hurt you, you know? It's just like, you know, it's just like you slept with some guy's wife, you know? It makes sense that that guy would want to kill you, you know? It's not, it doesn't make it any less terrifying, but, you know, it makes it, you know, at least logical. This level, everybody's happy. You know, everything's great for these guys, so why do they all want you dead? You know, it's creepy. I mean, look at these guys, these radioactive happy orbs are just, you know, having a grand old time, and they're just, they touch you, they kill you. Are we just, like, allergic to sweetness and kindness here, or what? I'm not sure, man. This level messes with my brains. So anyway, I'm not really sure who these two guys are supposed to be. I'm sure they're a cameo by some internet dude. But I don't know who they are, so whatever. Anyway, I'm pretty sure you can make that jump back up onto the log if you play as Mike, but I tried Bullshit Man instead, so, you know, that's why I ended up dying. Anyway, this waterfall section here, which is obviously inspired by Super Mario Bros. 2, is probably the hardest part of the level, and it's not necessarily that the individual aspects of the level design are hard, it's that, you know. Making a mistake in this level doesn't automatically mean instant death, which is normally, I consider, a good thing, you know. You just have to play through some of the level design again, which, you know, isn't really too bad. But the problem is that it's very easy to get hit in this part of the level, so if you have to replay anything, that just means you're increasing your chances of getting hit again. So that's really why this is one of the harder parts of the level one of the harder parts of the level. I wouldn't say this is like the hardest part of the game or anything, but that's why this is one of the harder parts of the level, is mostly just because it's, oddly enough, it's a damage drainer, you know? Most of the time in AVGN Adventures, the hardest parts of the game are mostly due to instant death. It's not really areas like this where you've got long-term exposure to things that will drain your health. Most of the time, your health is just, a lot of the times your health is pretty damn expendable in AVGN Adventures, you know? You can there are a lot of situations where you can get past certain difficult aspects of the level design by taking a hit on purpose and taking advantage of your invincibility frames, which, you know, is a time-honored tradition in 8-bit video games like this, you know, like taking advantage of the completely game-based idea of invincibility frames. You know, in real life you don't get any invincibility frames. If I get stabbed in the heart, I don't get, like, immunity to further stabbings. I just get paid, man. You know, that would actually be a really cool... Actually, I don't know if it would be a really cool superpower, because in order to activate it, you would have to get hurt first. Unless if it was, like, minor pain. Like, if you put, like, a rubber band around your wrist and you snapped it, you'd be like, ow! And then, you know, you got invincibility frames from, like, getting shot or something like that. That would actually be a pretty cool power. Although, I would just prefer to just have invincibility frames. Or how about just invincibility? That would probably be the best superpower ever. It's just like, I don't need to take your shit from your bullets or your knives or your swords or your cannons or your tanks or your atomic bombs. I'm invincible, bitch. Bring it on! So anyway, there are two ways where you could easily take care of those bouncing balls. If you want the slightly quicker way, you can just use the Bullshit Man's Bullshit Blast, because the Bullshit Blast can take care of those shots in 2 hits, you know, no problem. If you want the less, I should say, well, I guess I should just say, the less you'd have to make timing way, you can just sort of stand there and spam the guitar guy's guitar strums, because, you know, the guitar strums not only go through walls, they go through these radioactive happy orbs, and that will just, it will take a lot longer, but you also don't have to work as hard, if that makes any sense, so, yeah. Also, be careful here, because that radioactive happy orb can knock you into a skull block, and you will die. So, yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten up to the top of that waterfall area, because that's probably one of the most that's like one of the longest sections in the game where you don't have a checkpoint. So I can't tell you how many times I've gotten up to the top of that section, and then died due to that spike ball right before getting right before getting to the next checkpoint. So yeah, that's relatively annoying. Also, this section's a little bit odd. Well, I wouldn't say odd, but it's a little bit more difficult than you'd think it would be. Because Mike Matei, you know, normally you'd just think, oh, I can use Mike Matei and use my lightsaber swipes to get rid of those flying green things, no problem. And for the most part, you can. But the thing is that when his lightsaber strikes one of the happy orbs, it does the little clink. You didn't do any damage things because, you know, you touched an indestructible object. That's just what happens. But the thing is that while the clinking is happening, you know, for the rest of that swipe, the lightsaber can't do any damage to enemies. So keep that in mind for that one particular spot of the level. You might be better. Don't get me wrong, Mike Matei is still a good choice for that section, but you might want to like jump or something in order to kill them. I don't know. There are a couple of different solutions. I guess you could just use the nerd and like shoot them before they even get to you or something, or just jump or whatever. But you know, just keep that in mind. It is possible for you to get like knocked back off of the platform you're on. And I get, you know, the knockback is probably just, you know, it's a relic of 8-bit video games. Although, thankfully, it's not nearly as bad as, like, Castlevania, where you, like, jump, like, 30 feet back for some ridiculous reason, you know. This is realistic knockback, I suppose, where, you know, it makes sense that if you were hit by, like, a pile of shit or a radioactive sun happy orb, that, you'd be startled, at least a little bit, you know. But, it is possible if you're too far to the left in that section for you to just get knocked off and dropped into the bottomless pit, so yeah, be careful there. This is a relatively decent spot to use the Bullshit Man, although I recommend using Mike Matei on the bouncy blocks. But whenever you've got like a platforming section with only like tiny blocks to stand on, you know, where you gotta jump on one single block to another single block, that's always a good time to use the Bullshit Man, because you can use your double jump to add to your precision, you know, make it easier to land. For these areas with the time spikes, I actually recommend using the guitar guy, because having that extra running speed really does make things a little bit more lenient for you. And also, on that block to the left with the happy orb, you are going to have to duck if you want to not get hit by them. So otherwise, it's a safe spot, but you just have to be ducking while you do so. Now, for this section right here, with the bouncing Barney testicles, whatever the fuck you want to call them, you really don't bother trying to kill them, man. They take too many shots, and you'll probably just end up getting hit if you tried to kill them. Instead, just dodge them, you know, try to keep an eye on where their arc is, and try to be underneath that arc as much as possible. Try to avoid jumping, if at all possible. A good tip, I guess I should suppose, is try to stay as close to them as you can while they're bouncing on the ground. Like, when the ball is on the ground, try to stay as close to the thing as you can without actually touching it, because that's a good way to make sure that you're not going to get hit when it bounces up into its next arc. So just keep that in mind. Here, again, you know, you're going to want to use the guitar guy. Anytime where it requires, like, fast running. Well, I shouldn't say, quick timing is usually a good point for the guitar guy, just because of his faster running speed. Now, if you touch the bottom of the screen here, you do die, because that's a bottomless pit, so just keep an eye on where those jello bouncy blocks are for that section. So anyway, the boss of this level is a unicorn. So yes, this level really is unicorn diarrhea. Now, a good trick for this level is just to keep on strafing back and forth on this platform here. He won't ever be able to ram into you with this figure 8 pattern if you do this, and occasionally you'll have to deal with the diarrhea landing on your head, but just shooting up will be able to take care of that. If you try to like move around a whole lot, that's when you're probably going to get hit a bunch by the unicorn. So just try to stay on that platform, strafing back and right, and you'll be completely fine. So anyway, in the next part, we're going to be going to the last level of the game. I'm ExandShadow, and I'll see you guys later.